Hey guys, it's season 3. I'm so pumped about season 3. So, I did a poll and I asked you guys what you wanted to hear about. And you really didn't help me at all. You just were like all of it, all the things. Some of you said you wanted to hear a little bit more about parenting. Some of you wanted to hear a little bit more about relationships with God and how that looks in the real world. Some of you are just like, no, stick to the habits and self discovery. So, what I'm going to try to do for you guys is to wrap it all up together. So, you're getting little bits of pieces of each in each podcast episode. And then some of you wanted the once a week 20 to 30 minutes. Some of you wanted little like 8 to 15 minute ones twice a week. That I'm also going to mix up a little bit. I think I want to do like short ones on Thursdays and the longer ones on Tuesdays like you're used to. So that's what we're going to start doing is, the 20 to 30 minute deeper thoughts, having guests on Tuesdays, and then Thursdays just going to be little snippets of thoughts I'm having. Because I have some good thoughts and then I just write them down and they just stay in my notes. Or I'll hear something from a genius person through self-discovery or habit tracking or something amazing. And I'm like, oh, that's so good. But I don't know how to make it a full 20-minute episode. So you're going to have lots of really good tidbits as we go along. I do want to say that Aubrey, as you can tell, I don't have my laugh track right now. So I want to talk about seasons of life and what Reclaim is all about. This is the season 3 opener. So I want to get really into what is Reclaim about? What are we actually doing here? And Aubrey and I have talked about it over and over and over again. And it's basically understanding and aligning who you are with how you're living. And that being said, self-discovery is a huge part of that. Because you could be living a certain way not knowing you're not even aligned. You have no idea. All you know is something doesn't feel right. And Aubrey and I had some really great talks about alignment in her life and alignment in my life. So for her, right now is a season of family. She homeschools her kids. And her husband is really ramping up in his business. He's doing really well, very successful. Oh my gosh, his work is amazing. Aubrey could be helping him with that, which is bringing in family income. We love you guys, but Reclaim does not make money yet. Right now, it is in a service mode. We are giving value. We are gaining credibility. We are learning ourselves. So we are really giving back to you guys right now without taking any profit or income from this. So Aubrey had to make the tough decision to step back for a little while to focus on her family and help her husband. And I fully respect that. It's a huge part of Reclaim to understand your alignment and how that looks in your life. And for Aubrey, alignment is being the greatest mom she could possibly be. And while she loves Reclaim and she loves you guys, it's a time for her to step back and focus on something else. That doesn't mean she's not going to be helping me come up with ideas, giving me feedback. She has amazing ideas and a whole new perspective. So if you guys have questions for Aubrey and homeschooling and anything like that, please don't hesitate to reach out because I am going to be bugging her for ideas as she's in this season of life because I think she has a lot of really good perspective to bring to the table of not having a side business and really just focusing on your family because I feel like we are in a world today that pressures you to be doing other things. You need other streams of income. You need to be running your own business. You need to be selling your thoughts and ideas. Well, a lot of you are just really happy being a mom. And you don't really need all this other stuff, but it's like you're inundated with it. And I love that Aubrey is choosing this because I feel like a lot of you will be able to relate to her. Like, yes, I just want to be there for my family. Like, can't that be enough? Like, absolutely, yes, it can. And we're proving it. So we will miss you, Aubrey, and I will totally miss my laugh track because how am I going to know if I'm funny now? I have no idea if I'm funny right now. This is scary. And I won't have her editing skills anymore either. So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, if I offend any of you, please let me know because I won't have her 2 cents of probably shouldn't put that in there. And I don't know if we're going to have a blooper reel, right? Maybe I could make one myself. Anyways, so that's her season. when we were reflecting on my season, we were reflecting on, should we take a break? Should we take a podcast break? Should we take a reclaim break and just see how it goes? I reflected, I meditated, I prayed, and I can't take a break from the podcast. And much of me that is aligned with this and with you guys. And there's just, I can't. There's nothing in me that says take a break. So I love you guys, and I just can't stop feeding you skills and tools to discover yourself, discover your purpose, create meaning in your life, fall back in love with life again, and just live out your life with joy. And that means so many things to me now. Joy to me is not just happiness. Joy to me is also suffering. I know that sounds counterintuitive. But suffering, it's like, the best way I can explain it is that movie Inside Out. If you've seen Inside Out, it's I can't remember if it's Disney, DreamWorks, Pixar, whatever. It's an animated film that it's about Riley, this little girl, and her emotions. And her emotions are all characters. There's joy, sadness, disgust, fear, anger. I think that might be it. And joy is just freaking out about losing these core memories, which are core memories of joy. They're her color, and they're, and anytime sadness goes to touch the little ball of emotion, it turns blue. And joy is thinking, oh my gosh, sadness is ruining everything. And I feel like that's our world. That's the US way of thinking, is if you're not happy, there's something wrong with you. If you're not experiencing joy all the time, there's something wrong. We can't let anything else happen. It's got to always be joy. Every other emotion wrecks things. That is literally only a thing in the US. Every other country has pain and suffering or other emotions as a balance. The yin and yang, all of these things. The US is the only place that preaches that you should always be happy all the time. And I think that's why we also have the most anxiety and stress and depression than any other country. And so it's not realistic to think you will never have any other emotion but happiness and joy. But what Joy learns throughout this journey, she learns that because of the sadness, so because there was some sort of sad thing that happened to Riley, people gather around, people come together, and they form joy out of the sadness. So out of suffering comes bigger joy, more community, more love out of suffering. And so I think that's so important to realize, is that you're going to have bad days, and that does not mean there's something wrong with you. That is completely and absolutely normal and necessary for you to have a balanced and fulfilled life. Out of suffering comes charities, volunteerism, mission work. All of those things came from suffering, and all of those things bring people together. So I think it's very important to note that. That's what Reclaim is all about. Discovering who you are and aligning it with the way you want to live. Finding meaning in that, and being able to live your life in such a way that you feel fulfilled, like you're going towards a purpose, like everything you do has meaning. And that doesn't mean you're always going to be happy. There's going to be suffering. There's going to be anger. There's going to be fear. And there's going to be joy. And just being able to reflect and sit in every single one of those moments. So thumbs up. It's so something I want to talk about first and foremost on self-discovery is being able to look at yourself in the mirror. It's the weirdest thing because it's something we never do. And we look at a mirror every day. When you're brushing your hair, brushing your teeth, just in your bathroom. You're always in your bathroom at some point during the day. And when you look in the mirror, you usually don't look into your eyes. You're looking at your body, probably saying some not very nice things, aren't you? You're probably looking at your hair. Even when you're doing your makeup, mascara is right there next to your eye. You're not even looking at your eyes. So something I would like each of you to try for the next 7 days is just to look at yourself in the mirror. Really look at your eyes. Nothing else. Your eyes. and just say, I love you. I'm your bestie. I've got you. You are literally the only person that has been there for you without fail every day of your life. If you really think about it, you've been there through thick and thin, tears, laughter, memories, embarrassing moments, little white lies you told that no one knows about. You were there. And of course, God too. But I'm just saying, like, when you look in the mirror, that woman has been there for you and will be there for you every single moment of your life. It's okay to look her in the eye and say, I love you. I've got you. We can do this. Let's do some work. Let's get better every day. Let's live the life we want our kids to live so they can see us as an example. Like, these are the things you can be saying to yourself in the mirror. Maybe don't do it before work for the first time because you might cry. It's kind of powerful to look at yourself in the mirror and just look at yourself. So that is one thing that I want to point out. There's another thing I want to talk about, and that is input. What you are hearing, who you're asking for advice from. There's so many things happening around you. There's social media. There's friends. There's family. If you watch TV, there's TV. Even the music you listen to affects you. It really does. If you don't believe me, listen to like completely different genres, one behind the other. I don't know about you, but it's like if I hear country and then I hear like I have yoga music on my phone, and then I hear like angry girl music, and then I hear like a sad song, and my emotions are all over the place because music is one of the strongest ties to memory. In fact, when Alzheimer's patients start to lose their just their brain function, it's literally deteriorating. Music is the last part of your brain to go. You can look this up and just look at like how music affects Alzheimer's patients, and people who don't even speak will start singing a song, and people are amazed. And so you have to be careful what you're listening to. Make sure that your music matches the mood you want to create. So yeah, watch that. So what I'm going to talk about is asking for advice right now. Asking for advice is extremely dangerous. This is only because people are going to give you the advice that's based on their own experience. And it's something I said early on in season 1. But a great friend would never give you advice. I have not been a great friend so many times. So I'm not saying this to condemn anyone because this is totally me, but I used to give advice all the time. A good friend will not give advice. A good coach will not give advice. They will ask you questions until you find your own advice. Now, they can give you tools. They can give you ideas. They can give you skills. They can give you homework. Go learn this. But advice will always need to come from your own self, your own internal ideas and thoughts and feelings. And so when you're wondering what should I do, what decision should I make, which way should I go, that should always come from within you. And I heard this really cool thing from Alex Hormozy. He calls it the Solomon paradox. And what's really cool about this, if you don't know Solomon, he's a character in the Bible. He was the most wise person, and God just gave him all this wisdom. Solomon always gave really good advice. As Alex said, didn't always follow his own advice, and most of the time you will get better advice than what people are living. We're all guilty of it. But he gave great advice. In fact, people would travel. I think, what was her name? Bethsaida, maybe? Queen Bethsaida. She came from way far away, gave just tons and tons of gifts just to sit and ask him questions all night, and was just amazed by all of his answers. So he was very wise. What Alex does is he creates, I think it's an Excel spreadsheet, but he treats it as if it's like if you were on Messenger or Instagram DMs. What he does is he treats it as if it's like a question and answer. So if you were doing it on an Excel spreadsheet, I'm guessing you could have 2 columns. I'm going to try this, so I'm not just telling you this. I'm going to do it too because I think this is genius, and it's something I've been trying to like figure out how to articulate, and he does it so well. And now I understand, like, oh yes, we could do it. It could be tangible, not just like writing down in a journal, brain dumping, but literally asking yourself questions and answering them as your older, wiser self. So what Alex says is this is his 85-year-old self. He's massively successful. All of his dreams have come true. This is his ideal self at 85, like best version of himself. He asks that guy questions. And so what you can do is, in your Excel spreadsheet, the first column is Solomon and the second column is you. And you can name it whatever. I'm probably going to name mine Queen something because I like Queen stuff. So Solomon is on one side, he's on the other. So what he would do is, like, he would ask Solomon a question like, hey, should I make this business move? And then Solomon would ask him a question, and then he would answer it. And then Solomon would ask him another question, and he would answer it, until he got down to the nitty-gritty, should I or should I not, the answer he was looking for. But he didn't ask anybody but himself, because you have your best interests at heart. Only you do. You're literally the only one. Even parents think they have their best interests at heart for their children, but sometimes make decisions out of fear that they will fail. Fear, oh my goodness, words. Fear that they will fail, fear they'll get left behind, fear they'll get hurt, all of these things. Sometimes parents can overestimate their kids' capabilities. Case in point, some of those American Idol auditions. Wow. Don't tell your kid they're good at singing if they're not. That's embarrassing. Anyways, I'm sure they thought they sounded good. I don't know. I can't imagine thinking your kid sounds good when it's that bad, but maybe. I don't know. But point is, you will understand your own self better than anyone else. So try it. It could be an Excel spreadsheet. You could literally just journal and write and do little bubbles. I honestly think that's what I might do because I like to journal. But do a little bubble for each little, conversational piece, and see what your own self can give you for advice. And ask yourself good questions. A lot of whys. A lot of what would happen if. Like a lot of things that Alex was saying I found really interesting, because nothing's really as bad as we think it would be. And he was pointing out, what if this lawsuit that I'm in, Solomon asked him, hey, what would happen if you won? And Alex was like, well, I'm young, I'm happily married, and I would have a little more money than I have now. Okay, what would happen if you lost? Well, I'd still be young, I'd still be happily married, and honestly, I wouldn't have to worry about working on it anymore, so it'd be just over. I just wouldn't have as much money. And Solomon's answer was, oh, looks like a win-win. Still young, healthy, and happily married, either way. And it's like, yeah. So it's like, you can ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? What happens if you succeed? Okay. What happens if you fail? Okay. Is that so bad? It's very interesting when you start asking yourself questions. And if you run out of questions to ask yourself, you can drop me a DM and say, hey, what should I ask myself next? Because I'm at a standstill or I'm stuck. And that could happen. And you could ask other people, what questions should I ask myself? Or you could Google it. What questions should I ask myself? Because sometimes it is hard when you're just not sure what to ask. And that's when a good coach comes in. Good coaches ask great questions. And, I think that's where listening to self-development podcasts and reading self-development books, it teaches you what questions to ask. And so you should constantly be growing and learning and reading. I know most of you, if you're in the self-development world, you understand this, and you probably already do it, which is probably why you're here. So let me see where I'm at on time again. Oh, perfect. I did it. We made it to 20 minutes. I don't know why I was so scared I wasn't going to give you a full delivery on valuable information in 20 minutes, but I did it. So those two things are your homework this week. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and really look in yourself in the mirror and just say some really loving things that you would say to your best friend, because you are your best friend. And then I want you to ask yourself some deeper questions, especially if you are struggling with a decision in life, or if you're wondering why you feel stuck or lost, which area you can break your life up into areas, like how satisfied are you with your marriage, how satisfied are you with parenting, how satisfied with your spiritual life, emotional, physical, and then why not, what is there something from your past, is there something, you can break it down, and is the smaller you can get it, the better. So if it's physical fitness, I wish I could stay consistent with working out. Well, why do you think you are struggling with that? Like, what is it about the consistency? Is it the time of day? Is it the mode? Do you just hate lifting weights? Do you need to do something else? Is it okay if you only do 10 minutes a day instead of a whole hour? Are you trying to commit to too much? What would feel aligned for you? What are your goals? Do you just want to be more functional? Do you want more flexibility? What is it about working out that's attractive to you? You know, what is your goal with it? And see, my biggest thing is most of us are chasing what we're told to chase. Meaning that the input we get from social media and the news and friends and family and peers and all this, it's guiding your thoughts and you don't even know it. Psychology is so weird. You believe what you hear and you find what you look for. And, you know, I just did something really funny tonight. I went through my closet. I don't know. I just had this weird feeling like, am I even wearing what I want to wear? Like, why am I wearing things sometimes? And I went through my closet and I was like, I don't even like this, but I wear it because it's trending. I wear it because it's in season. I wear it because if someone else saw me, they'd be like, oh, she's fashionista. That's why I wear it. That is so not why I want to wear things. I want to wear things because I want a certain look that conveys a certain message. So what message am I trying to convey? Like, I literally went through this today in my head. What message do I want to convey? Well, I want people to see me as approachable. I want people to see me as authority, like an authority in my space. I want people to feel comfortable asking me questions to guide them certain ways. And I want to give off a look of, like, you know, hygiene and modesty. And so I'm like, what? I went through my closet and threw like half of it away. And then I went to the thrift store and got things that I actually like. I'm so pumped right now to go home and try it all on too. I literally did that before I came here. So there's so many areas of your life you can pare down and figure out, are you really living life aligned with who you are and the purpose and meaning that you want in life? Or are you doing it because you think you're supposed to? You know? Yeah, I'll leave you with that. Align yourself to your purpose and meaning and not to what is expected of you from people who are not living your life. Okay. I love you. Welcome to season 3. I will see you next time.